Good morning, everyone. Today, I just want to talk about prioritizing your mental health. Now, yesterday, I did a live all about stopping and pausing for a moment and really taking that time to yourself. And I gave 3 tips that can really help you when you are stopping and in that pause and in that moment of pause and how to get through that. Now, the thing is, in doing that live, I did not know that once I logged off, went on social media, I would see that Simone Biles had pulled out of the Olympics because of her own mental health, and she wanted to prioritize her mental health. And just sitting back and watching everything that was happening yesterday, all the conversation, everything on social media, I really just felt the need to come on this morning and talk about prioritizing your mental health, especially when it comes to making difficult decisions and when everyone may not understand. But before I get into that, if this is your first time listening, my name is Lawan Moses, and I am a productivity and personal growth coach for moms, and I am helping moms to master their mindset and own their time so they can find the freedom to do more of the things that they love and enjoy. I'm also the host of the More Than a Mother podcast, where we believe you can pursue your dreams and be a great mom at the same time. Now, when it comes to prioritizing your mental health, it is something that you are doing for you. I mean, nobody knows what is going on inside your head. Nobody knows what you're going through. Nobody knows whatever trials, tribulations, challenges that you may be having. And that is the hard part about mental health, because with physical health, with physical things, people can see it. So they may be more receptive. They may understand more. But when it comes to mental health, people cannot see it. But I really want to encourage you, just do not let that stop you from doing what you need to do to take care of yourself, even in a difficult situation. And I believe that with yesterday with Simone Biles and what we saw a few months ago with Naomi, Osaka, it really just showed us the importance of mental health. I mean, these young ladies were on some of the biggest stages ever, some of the biggest moments of their lives, and they pulled back because of mental health. Now, the sad part is there was so much backlash that was on social media. We know how social media can be. People just have those Twitter fingers or hide behind the computers and say those things that are very hurtful and harmful to people. And it's just the point of, when it comes to mental health, you do what you need to do for you. And I think that, especially when you're a mom, when you're in these situations, you can't just keep going like everything is normal, because then you're only hurting yourself in the end. So, of course, you may face those challenges. Of course, you may face those struggles. You're going to face the naysayers that aren't going to understand what you're doing. But guess what? It's not for them to understand. When you are going through something on the inside, it is for you. And it is for you to show up, for you to get better, and for you to take care and nurture yourself. And a lot of people don't understand that. Like what smells like, how could she do that to her team? How could she pull out at this big time? How she's on the Olympics. She has all these things. She's the greatest of all time. So what? That doesn't matter. If your mental health is not right, it doesn't matter what you have, what you're doing, the accomplishments that you make. If your mind isn't right, all the rest is in vain. So really do what you need to do. If that requires you to step back, even if we're looking at this from a business angle, you can have all the business success in the world. Your business can be throwing your podcast, the best-selling author, whatever it is that you're doing. But if your mind isn't right, how are you enjoying that? What quality of life do you have? Your mindset and your mind is really going to determine your quality of life. And that is the point that I think people don't understand, is how much of an impact your mental health has and your mindset has on everything. So it doesn't matter if you're the greatest, if you're the best. If you need to take that time to take care of you, then go ahead and do it without apology. It's not for other people to understand. Yes, you're going to face criticism, because that is what people do by nature. Everyone wants to look from the outside in and pass their judgments. You may face those criticisms. You may have those people that say, oh, it's not that serious. People that want to brush it off. But you know how serious it is to you. So when you're in these moments, when you're in this time and your mental health is just really at a point where you need to nurture it and take care of it, do that. Because at the end, it's you that matters. As I said yesterday, you have to take care of yourself, because nobody else will. And if you're not able to show up as your best self, if you're not able to do your personal best, then it's all in vain. You're not going to be able to enjoy it. You're not going to be able to enjoy life around you because you're just pushing, going, wind up burnt out and miserable. So what is all the success? What is all the money? Whatever it is that you have, what is all of that if your mind isn't right? So as you go into today, as you go on, remember to prioritize your mental health. We talk about priorities all the time. I talk about boundaries. I talk about time management, setting priorities, being productive and not busy. And one part of that is mental health. And I think a lot of us think about priorities and all of that as the outside, the tasks that we have to do. And we don't think of it as that self-care, as that personal care that we kind of have to do when it comes to prioritizing our mental health. That is an important part when it comes to priorities, balance, productivity, whatever it is that you're doing. You can't be productive if your mental health isn't right. You can't really enforce your boundaries if your mental health isn't right. And you really can't set your priorities and go throughout your day if your mental health isn't right. So when I talk about productivity, priorities, and balance, when I'm talking about reclaiming your time, when I'm talking about mastering your mindset, mental health is a big piece of that. And again, people are not going to understand. They're going to criticize. You're going to face those judgments. But it's not for them to understand. I think that is one of the hardest parts when it comes to making decisions, is that when we face that backlash, when people don't understand, when we face that criticism, if you're on social media, you get those social media trolls. It has us second guessing, okay, did I make the right decision for myself? Should I really be doing this? But you cannot let outside opinions influence you, have you second guessing what you need to do for you. So seeing Simone Biles pull out for her mental health, no matter what anyone may have thought, even on the biggest platforms, seeing Naomi Osaka do it a few months ago, those are really great examples of being there on the stage in front of everyone and saying, no, I need to do what I need to do for me. Whether you receive it or not, that is on you. But I know I need to do what I need to do to take care of myself. And I think those are great examples of self-care in the midst of whatever work that you're doing, in the midst of whatever success that you have. If they can do it, then use that as your example to see, okay, if this is done on this level, then I can take that time to take care of myself. I can take that time to prioritize my own mental health and do what I need to do to get my mind right. As a mom, as a woman, if you aren't taking that time, then how are you able to show up for your kids? How are you able to show up for your family? How are you able to show up for anything that you have going on if you aren't taking that time to get your mind right? So even as a mom, it is really important to prioritize your mental health, because if you're going crazy, if you're snapping, if you're going off on everyone, then that is that trickle down effect. You'll find that your kids are going to be miserable, your household's going to be miserable, because a lot of times the energy, the mom is setting the tone, the woman is setting the tone for the household. I know that feels like a lot of pressure, that says a lot, but if you look at it, you really are setting the tone for your household. So if you are on edge, if your mind isn't right, then most likely there's chaos around you. So you find those ways, you find that time to really step back, take care of yourself and nurture yourself, and see it as, okay, when I'm prioritizing my mental health, when I'm doing what I need to do to fill up myself, to rejuvenate my tank, to just get that energy back, then is it allowing me to show up as my best self in all areas of life. So again, prioritizing your mental health, it is not easy to do. You most likely will face those criticisms and judgment because people can't see it, people can't feel it, people can't touch it. So it's like, what do you mean you have to prioritize your mental health? What does it mean you're taking care of yourself? They don't need to know. But you can just say, this is what I need to do for me. You take that step back, you do what you need to do, and then you come back and you show up the way you want to show up. Don't feel pressure to keep going. Don't feel pressure to just show up, perform, and do. If you need to take that step back, guess what? It is okay, because in the end, you are doing yourself an advantage, as well as your kids, as well as your family, and like I said, most importantly, yourself. Now, I am doing a workshop in a few weeks on August 10th, all about productivity, priorities, and balance. And mental health is a big piece of that. I always start off with mindset in everything I do, just mindset strategies, talking about past trauma and past experiences and how they can impact us, and how, as we're going through this hustle of everyday life as moms, as busy women, as busy moms, how we're going through all of this, we can really start to prioritize our mental health. So I invite you to join me for that free workshop. I'll put the link in the notes, and also you can DM me the word workshop to be a part of that. So as you go out here today, go ahead, make sure you are finding ways to take care of yourself and prioritize your mental health, because if you're not right, then things around you aren't going to be right. And I really want you to be able to show up as your best self in all areas of life. So do what you need to do for yourself today, and I hope that you have a wonderful and fabulous day.